Welcome everybody to Extreme Offroad Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 1973 AMC Gremlin X. Now this is 826 horsepower, 828 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.5 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,738 pounds, has off-road tyres, all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 2.873 seconds, 0 to 105.071 seconds, and going to a top speed of 196 miles an hour. So yeah, sorry it's been a good week until we did the last episode with the Alpha Romeo, but yeah, been plenty of heat wave over here in the UK lately, and it's kind of stopped me from being able to do videos. But yeah, let's see what this really rather small car for America at the time can do. Don't think we've taken any AMC vehicles out in the series so far. This is a lot more power than it had originally. I think it only had around 150 originally, which yeah, wasn't a lot for the sizable V8 that it had at the time. But this V8 is period correct. It's from the 70s. I think it's from the Challenger or the Charger, one or the other. But yeah, that's why it's not quite as powerful as say another V8 that you could put in this car. But you also had the option of putting a V10 engine in it as well. I think it was a Viper engine. But I wanted to go for this because it's from the same kind of period as this car was around. And no doubt if you had the money at the time you probably would have done that conversion, because why not? The engine wasn't exactly all that great originally. Although I rather like this car in its stock form. Don't ask me why, because it's pretty awful. I'm struggling to keep the power down now, but yeah, for whatever reason I do really rather like it. And if you were in the market for a small American car at the time, then this was easily the safest from the period, purely because it's got such a long bonnet and it's quite weighty. Whereas obviously if you went in a Ford Pinto, crashing from the front or the rear, you were either dead or seriously injured, because yeah, from the front it was awful and from the rear it would explode. So no real good option in that area. And I certainly prefer this to the other small AMC from the time in the form of the Pacer, purely because the engine's a bit more lively and yeah, it's a bit more lively to drive. And despite having such a far larger engine up front, it don't feel as heavy up front as that Pacer. But this is done middling, to be honest. Not even if we didn't have crashed into that tree would we have been all that quick. But still, a time of 2 minutes 9 seconds .656 is hardly the worst that we've had, but it is one of the worst times that we've had recently, which is a bit of a shame because I do really rather like the car. But yeah, that's still nonetheless quicker than a Morris Minor Series 2 Traveller, Jaguar Mark II, Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG 6x6, Volkswagen Type 3, Volkswagen Carmen Gear, Land Rover Series 3, which is from the same period as this, so it's quicker than an off-roader from that time, as well as an International Scout 800A, again an off-roader from this same period, as well as a Can-Am Maverick, Honda an XX, and an Ariel Nomad. So yeah, by no means the slowest car that we've had. If we hadn't hit that tree we might have gained a second or two maybe, but yeah, either way it's still far from the quickest car that we've had recently, and yeah, certainly not the quickest that we've had overall, as you're a good 12 or so seconds slower than the car at the top of the leaderboard. But yeah, overall controllable in most ways. Did lose its grip at some times with the extra power, but on the whole it was easy to control, and yeah, relatively you know, relatively flaw free in a lot of ways. So yeah, overall solid, but yeah, could be a lot better. Would be interesting to see what other cars from the same period that are like this would be like, but unfortunately this is the only really small car that we have from the 70s from America. We don't have the Vega, we don't have the Pinto, unfortunately, so yeah, can't really compare it against any of the cars from that period, but the fact it's quicker than a pair of off-roaders from that same time is at least a positive. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.